We planned the family reunion at your beach house, 47 people, 4 days.
That was the text. Hi. My name is Claire Whitmore.
And apparently, I own a beach house for everyone except myself. The ocean outside my kitchen windows was calm that afternoon.
Pale blue. Quiet.
The kind of stillness that makes you breathe slower.
Salt drifted in through the cracked balcony doors. My phone buzzed again.
Stock the fridge by Friday.
No question mark.
No, is that okay?
Just instructions.
I stared at the message, then at the long stretch of empty sand beyond the dunes.
I bought this house 3 years ago. Alone. No co-signers. No help. No family loans. Silence had always been my luxury here. Another text.
Sleeping arrangements attached. You and the kids can take the downstairs guest room.
I don't have kids. I wasn't even on the guest list in my own house. I typed one word. No. 3 gray dots appeared instantly. Then,
face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy. We're coming anyway. What are you gonna do? Call the HOA. The audacity would have been funny if it wasn't so familiar. My sister has always confused access with ownership. If something is in the family, she assumes it belongs to her. I didn't respond. Instead, I walked out onto the deck. The wind lifted my hair. The tide was coming in, slow and certain. 4 to 7 people. 4 days. No permission. I looked at the keypad on the side gate. And I smiled. Friday morning was going to be interesting. I didn't block her. I didn't argue. I didn't send paragraphs explaining boundaries like I had 10 years ago.
I made 3 phone calls.
The first was to the gate company.
Hi, this is Claire Whitmore.
I need a full code reset on property 17B. Temporary guest access disabled. Permanent override to biometric only.
Of course, Ms. Whitmore.
Effective immediately.
Friday, 6 a.m. The second call was to my insurance agent.
Hypothetically, I said, watching the tide drag white foam across the shore, if 4 to 7 unregistered guests entered my property without written consent.
That would void liability protection, he replied.
Unless you have contracted security.
I see. The third call was the simplest.
Coastal Shield Security.
2 licensed guards.
12-hour coverage.
Friday through Monday.
Private family situation, I explained calmly. We deal with those more than you'd think, the dispatcher said. By Wednesday night, my sister had created a shared group chat titled, Waterwave Beach Weekend Waterwave. Photos. Excitement. Assigned bedrooms. Grocery lists. Someone tagged me. Claire will handle towels and beach chairs. I watched the messages scroll. The entitlement wasn't loud. It was casual. Assumed. Like I was the venue.
Not the owner.
Thursday evening, I walked through every room of the house. White linen sofas.
Clean counters. Guest rooms untouched.
The quiet hum of the refrigerator, empty.
No food stocked.
No towels laid out.
No welcome baskets.
At 6:01 a.m. Friday morning, my phone buzzed. Gate code updated successfully. I stood on the balcony with coffee in hand. The ocean was steady. Predictable.
Unlike family.
At 11:47 a.m., I saw the first SUV turn onto the private road.
Then another. And another. 4 to 7 people. Coolers.
Beach umbrellas. Laughter. The lead car stopped at the gate.
The keypad blinked red. Denied. And that's when the honking started. The honking started soft.
Confused. Then impatient. I watched from the upstairs balcony, hidden behind the sheer linen curtains. The Atlantic stretched endlessly behind them, glittering like it had no interest in family drama.
Sub doors opened. My sister stepped out first. Sunglasses. Wide brim hat.
Linen romper like she was already on vacation.
She punched in the old code. Beep. Red light. Again. Beep. Red. Her posture stiffened. More cars lined up behind her. Kids climbed out. Someone popped open a cooler. Folding chairs hit pavement. She pulled out her phone.
Mine buzzed. What's wrong with the gate?
I didn't answer. She tried the code again. Denied.
The black Coastal Shield SUV rolled up quietly from the side access road.
2 uniformed guards stepped out. Professional. Neutral. Unbothered. I took a slow sip of coffee. One guard approached her calmly.
I couldn't hear everything, but I saw the shift in her body language immediately.
Confusion.
then irritation, then disbelief. She laughed at first.
I know that laugh.
It's the one she uses when she thinks she's still in control.
One of the guards handed her a printed notice. Trespassing warning. Property access restricted to registered guests only. Signed, Claire Whitmore. Her head snapped up toward the house. I didn't wave. I just stood there. Present. Unmoving. My phone rang. I let it. Then a text came through.
Are you serious right now?
Another.
This is insane.
Another.
Everyone is here.
I finally replied. I know. Down at the gate, the laughter had stopped. 4 to 7 people. 4 days. 0 access.
And the ocean kept moving behind them. Unbothered.
She called again. And again. And again.
I let the phone vibrate against the glass table beside me, watching the scene unfold below like it wasn't mine to fix.
The guards didn't argue. They didn't raise their voices.
They simply repeated the same sentence. Access is restricted by the property owner.
My sister paced now. Hat off. Sunglasses pushed to the top of her head. Her smile was gone. One of our cousins tried the keypad. Red.
Another uncle stepped forward, laughing awkwardly. Come on, Claire wouldn't actually. The guard held up a hand.
Sir.
Please step back from the gate. The wind carried pieces of conversation up to me. This is ridiculous. She's being dramatic. Where are we supposed to go?
4 to 7 people. 4 days. No hotel reservations. Because why would they need one? They had my house. My phone buzzed again.
You've embarrassed me in front of everyone.
I typed slowly.
You embarrassed yourself. 3 dots.
Nothing. Below, the first car engine started. Not in anger. In realization.
My sister turned toward the house again, finally spotting me clearly on the balcony.
Our eyes met. There it was. Not rage. Not even humiliation. But something worse. Understanding.
This wasn't a bluff.
This wasn't sibling drama. This was legal. Documented. Enforced.
A final attempt, she shouted up toward me. You're seriously choosing a gate code over family. The ocean wind swallowed half her words.
I leaned against the railing. No, I called back evenly.
I'm choosing boundaries. Silence settled heavier than the honking had. One by one, people started getting back into their cars.
Coolers closed. Chairs folded. Vacation energy evaporated.
The line of SUVs began reversing down the narrow road.
My sister stood there the longest. Alone at the gate. And for the first time in her life, she wasn't in control.
The group chat exploded before the last SUV cleared the road. Waterwave beach weekend waterwave.
What just happened? Did anyone know about this?
Claire, are you serious? I watched the messages stack up while the ocean rolled in steady, patient waves.
The house was still spotless. Quiet.
Untouched.
My sister started typing paragraphs.
She changed the code last minute. She hired security. She humiliated all of us.
Humiliated. Interesting choice of word. I set my coffee down and finally entered the chat.
I said no on Monday. The typing bubbles paused, then resumed faster. You were joking. You always joke like that. This is family.
Family.
The word they use when they want access without permission. I scrolled up and screenshot her original message. We're coming anyway.
I dropped it into the chat. Silence. Then,
you could have just talked to me.
I stared at that one longer than the others.
I had talked.
4 years. About showing up unannounced. About using my things without asking. About assuming my success meant shared ownership. No one had listened because I never enforced it. Until today.
Another cousin chimed in privately. Honestly, she kind of warned everyone.
There it was. The shift. Subtle. But real. My sister sent one final message to the group. Forget it.
We'll plan something else.
Not an apology. Not accountability. Just retreat. I muted the chat.
Outside, the tide had fully come in now, erasing footprints from the sand. 4 to 7 people had almost filled this house.
Now there was only wind. And me. But the story wasn't over.
Because humiliation fades.
But entitlement? Entitlement fights back. And she wasn't finished yet. By Saturday morning, she had shifted strategies. If she couldn't control the narrative in the group chat, she would control it publicly.
I found out because 3 different relatives forwarded me the same Facebook post.
A photo of my beach house.
Taken from the gate.
Caption. Some people forget where they come from.
Money changes you. Hundreds of reactions.
Sympathy pouring in from people who didn't know the full story. I didn't comment. I didn't defend myself. I opened my laptop instead.
There's something about salt air and legal clarity that pairs beautifully. She had posted a photo of private property,
with the address number visible on the pillar, and tagged the location. She thought she was shaming me.
What she did was create a documented harassment trail.
I called my attorney.
Yes, he said calmly after reviewing the screenshot. Publicly encouraging access to restricted private property after trespass warning?
That qualifies. Send it, I replied. By noon, she received a formal cease and desist.
Delivered electronically. And by certified mail.
Remove the post. Stop encouraging entry. Further action will escalate. I imagined the moment she opened that email.
The shift from victim to liability. Her post disappeared within 20 minutes. No explanation.
No follow-up. Just gone. But the comments had already been seen. Screenshot. Saved. I poured another cup of coffee and stepped onto the balcony. The ocean was louder today. Windier. Powerful. Unapologetic. My phone buzzed. Her name.
I answered this time. You got a lawyer involved, she hissed.
No, I said evenly.
You involved one.
Silence. Then.
You've gone too far.
I looked out at the water. No, I said softly.
I finally went far enough. And for the first time since Monday.
She had nothing to say. By Sunday, the tone had changed. Not loudly. Not dramatically. But noticeably. My aunt called first. I saw the post, she said carefully.
Claire, she shouldn't have done that.
Shouldn't have. Not couldn't. Not wasn't allowed. Just shouldn't have.
Then my cousin texted privately. Honestly? We all assumed you'd cave.
There it was. The truth.
I leaned against the kitchen counter, sunlight stretching across the white marble.
The house felt lighter than it had in years.
They've always relied on you being the reasonable one, he added.
Reasonable. The family word for compliant.
Later that afternoon, my sister sent a long message.
Not in the group chat. To me.
You turned everyone against me.
I read it twice. Then replied. No. I stopped protecting you. Because that's what I had been doing for years. Covering her last-minute changes. Absorbing her entitlement.
Explaining her behavior to others so gatherings stayed smooth. I had mistaken peacekeeping for love. She had mistaken it for weakness. Another message came through. You embarrass me. I exhaled slowly. You embarrassed yourself the moment you told 47 people to pack without asking.
No emojis this time. No laughing. Just quiet.
By evening, 2 more relatives had reached out, not to scold me.
To apologize.
For assuming. For not checking with you first. The shift was subtle but irreversible.
This wasn't about a gate code anymore. It was about access.
And access, once revoked, changes dynamics permanently.
The ocean was calm again that night. Low tide. Clean sand.
I walked down to the shore barefoot, letting the water curl around my ankles. For the first time, the house didn't feel like something I had to defend.
It felt like something I owned. But she had one move left. And I knew exactly what it would be. She showed up alone.
No SUVs.
No coolers. No audience. Just her car pulling slowly up to the gate late Sunday afternoon. The new code glowed softly on the keypad. She didn't try it. She called me instead.
I just want to talk.
The ocean was calm again. Gentle.
Almost forgiving. I walked down the path toward the gate, sand warm under my feet. The security SUV was parked nearby, engine off but present.
Visible. Intentional. She looked smaller without the crowd behind her. Less certain. You didn't have to make it public, she said first. I tilted my head slightly. You made it public. She looked away.
Wind moved between us.
For a moment, she almost looked like the sister I grew up with.
Not the one who assumed.
Not the one who commanded. Just a woman realizing something had shifted permanently. I thought, it's just a house, she said quietly. I nodded.
It is.
Pause.
But it's mine.
Silence settled heavy and honest.
I shouldn't have planned it without asking,
she admitted finally. The words sounded unfamiliar in her mouth.
No, I agreed gently.
You shouldn't have. She swallowed.
Are we okay?
That question used to control me. Today, it didn't.
We can be,
I said calmly. With boundaries.
not conditions.
Not threats. Just structure. She nodded slowly. No hug.
No dramatic reconciliation.
Just understanding. I turned and walked back toward the house.
The gate remained closed. The ocean kept moving.
And the house stood exactly as it had all weekend. Uncrowded.
Undamaged.
Unapologetically mine. Some lessons don't need shouting. They need enforcement. And from that day forward, no one ever announced plans at my beach house again.